Hello all newcomers, and welcome back fellow Aeternians. My name is Emperor AP, and I know a lot of you have been contacting me about trying to have an alliance. Or in general, I've seen in the micronational discourse quite a bit of discussion of alliances. If you look on the micronational subreddit, you'll see all these posts about alliances, about wars between alliances, about different reasons and purposes for these alliances. And I want to go ahead and continue that and discuss trade with it. So today I want to talk about through both micronational economics as well as politics itself, what these alliances mean for a micronation and what it is that they should be trying to achieve with them. This is a continuation on our previous series, our previous episode on micronational alliances, and we are going to continue that today. The biggest thing with alliances, honestly, is it needs to be something tangible. We've said that plenty of times before on this channel. We have discussed how things that are purposeful for micronations are beneficial for micronations. Things that are designed simply to bolster the idea of a micronation, or to fabricate a feeling of success, doesn't necessarily bring benefit to a micronation. So ultimately, we want to look at why is it that someone needs an alliance as a micronation. Ultimately, I believe that to be people needing added resources. If you yourself live in a particular region of the world, you are going to find yourself slim in resources that may be available more easily and more readily in other parts of the world. So, a lot of the time, whether it's skills, whether it's physical goods, whether it's whatever, it is beneficial to any group, but especially to us micronations, to graft onto each other, to grow stronger and to unite under some specific commonalities. And that's what alliances attempt to do, both macronationally and micronationally. But specifically micronationally, it is something that helps a micronation to fuel its success by essentially overreaching what it can do. So if you are someone who loves exotic fruits, you can get a certain amount of fruits at your local grocery store. Some of them even may be kind of exotic. However, you can't get all of them. Even if you were to search all of your local territory, local state, you may not be able to find a specific type of fruit. Ultimately, you may have to partner with someone who also enjoys fruit to send you that. And maybe they also enjoy fruit, and you can send them fruits that are more common to your area than theirs. They may have trouble finding. So having one thing that is a perfect commonality between two micronations is a great reason to have an alliance. However, that must be mutually beneficial. If I'm trying to ally with Jim to import me these specific fruit, but my micronation, my territory, has more fruit than any of Jim's, and all of the same fruit, if not more, than Jim's. There's no reason for us to have that alliance, because anything I can get from Jim, I can get more readily myself, and therefore it isn't a great alliance. I believe many times as micronations, we have seen people, communities, and other micronations cling to the idea of alliances to show a sense of attachment, to show that they are a part of supporting another micronation. That's fantastic. However, it needs to be remembered that if we are going to sincerely create micronations, if we are going to elevate the actual tangible ability of micronations to do things in the world, to accomplish goals, bigger and better ones, we need to have a way to filter between what is tangibly beneficial for a micronation and what is simply taking up time. Now, the loss of time for a micronation should as well be thought of like a loss of money, because it is. As you lose time, you only have so much of it, so only so much of it in a day, a week, a year. You need to be able to use a filter to determine what is important for your micronation to go after and what is better left maybe for another time. Now, some of that's going to be for a micronational economics video that we will do here in the future, but ultimately that's what we need to be able to do, is to think in that economic mindset of trying to create value. We had already done a video on that if you haven't seen it, but trying to increase the worth of the product that you are making or the service that you are offering in comparison to your competition is what will allow you to be able to connect to others and say, I assure you, under no false pretenses and under no assumptions, is this not valuable for you. This is something that, if you purchase it, increases the value of your economy, increases the value of your micronation, of its total sum worth. If you are offering a genuinely good product or service, that product or service genuinely helps people. It needs to be something that not only gives to a person, but allows them to then give back. It needs to be a tool. It needs to be something that is elevating and not detracting from someone's life. So a lot of the time, what those things are services. For example, like creating websites. If you're good at creating websites for someone, that's fantastic. You're allowing them to spread their message, to get their voice out, and allowed to do it cheaply and more, maybe in higher quality than some other services they could get. If you are making a physical good, that's where it's difficult, because you are competing with such large businesses in the macronational sense, but you can still make unique things. There's plenty of art that is cheaper technically in the macronational world, or even cheaper depending on where you are in the macronational world, but nonetheless is a subjective value. So if something has a subjective value in that sense, you can charge whatever you want for it, but be careful, because the market will determine how successful that price is based on how many people purchase your item. That is where we get into the finality of this topic for today. I want to discuss how it is you should approach a micronation when trying to seek an alliance. What it is that you can do to prepare for seeking an alliance with a micronation. Step 1, prepare your economy. Prepare your economy flat out. That is the most important thing. Step 2, ensure that your economy's direction, when you are preparing your economy, you must make sure that you have some specific good or service to offer that is increasing in value in general. On top of that, number 2 steps into that idea. It says, now we have to find a way to connect our specific economy's direction in whatever we're producing into something that is of much need to the micronation we're going after. Don't just pick any micronation, be selective in which micronations get your interest and alliance. Those micronations need to be ones which have a deficit which you can fill. They need to be ones which hold a need that you can provide for. And that's the ultimate preparedness that you need for determining whether or not your economy is ready to go into trading with others. If you are seeking alliances, especially economic alliances, but alliances period, with other micronations, what is it that you're offering? You wouldn't say that you want to let somebody borrow your car if you didn't have the engine in it. It wouldn't do them any good. So that being the case, it's not appropriate for you to offer to ally with anyone if you are a realist micronation and you are seeking to truly expand the value of your micronation and your trading partner's micronation, or your alliance member's micronation, you have to understand that idea of trying to increase value for the both of you. Find things that you both connect on in need. If you produce what they need and they produce what you need, that's wonderful. And if you can do it in a way that increases the value for the other person versus them buying it macronationally or in another market, give them a reason to buy from you. Give them added benefits. Give them something that increases the value of it in some way. If you sell flags, but flags online are cheaper, you say, hey, I'm selling flags and I'm offering this as well with the service. You can do this many redesigns of the flag or whatever. You can get these additional stands for flags or frames or whatever that come along with it, just in addition, that would maybe help increase the value so that it's worth the price for them, that you can buy potentially micronationally or make yourself for even cheaper. All of that is just putting in the dedication to your economy to develop something that's unique and interesting and exciting for people, and that they can take and then use and export to not only their own people, but to other micronations and to macronations. If you are starting any business, you want to make sure that that business is exciting, that people go, ooh, what? When they hear about it, that that's something that they need and that it's something that they've been waiting to hear. That's the most phenomenal thing that you can do in business, and I think that that is the thing that micronations should be seeking to do, is to sincerely hope to find the thing that drives interest in them and that they can brand themselves on, and that then their trading partners and alliance members can brand themselves on. If you are the wealthiest micronation, don't say I'm the wealthiest micronation, but use that to your benefit and seek it out for others who may have the technical expertise to make that value more valuable, to do more with what resources you have than you could, and vice versa. Whatever it is that you can find to connect with somebody on, do it. And just make sure that you all work out the details ahead of time as to whether or not this is sincerely value creating for both economies. I hope this has been helpful for you all. I know for me, I've been trying to figure out how Aeternia needs to develop and what we need to do and how we can go about trying to achieve that, but ultimately it comes down to trying to find the right partners, trying to find the right trading partners, trying to find the right alliance members. I want to be able to have that unity and that connection with you all. I want us to be able to grow as a larger unit. But that being the case, it has to be something that is done very, very well, or else we risk collapse like a lot of other ones. We've seen micronational organizations fall apart left and right. It's a joke in micronationalism a lot of the time. And now we need to have something that is more sincere. We need to have something that is well thought out, well planned, and well executed. And that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping the Empire of Aeternia does. That's what I'm hoping we can inspire you to do. It's important that we develop. It's important that we develop in the right way, in a way that is sustainable. And I hope that you all will join me with that, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.